morning everyone. In our previous class we have discussed the Bayes theorem. So what is Bayes theorem? So whenever you will be having n disjoint events and you are considering any particular event which is the subset of that disjoint events, the conditional probability of that any disjoint event, that is we will be finding P of Ei given A. That means the probability of the conditional probability of any disjoint event given the event which is the subset of all the disjoint events will be given by using the Bayes theorem. So we have seen a small problem based on the Bayes theorem. Today we will continue with the next problem related to the Bayes theorem. So coming to the 16th question. In this unit, the 16th question is the contents of the, here also three urns are given, urn 1, urn 2 and urn 3 are as follows. So here there are three urns. In the three urns there are three different category of balls, that is red colored, white colored and the black colored balls. So read the question. In the urn 1 there are 46 red balls, 28 white balls and 26 black balls. Similarly, in urn 2, there are 28 red balls, 46 white balls, 15 black balls. Similarly, in urn 3, 42 red balls, 56 white balls and 64 black balls. So these are the different contents of the three urns. So one urn is chosen at random. So out of three urns, one urn is chosen and 8 balls are selected from that urn. So we don't know which urn was chosen. It may be urn 1, urn 2 or urn 3. So after selecting the urn, they have selected 8 balls and they happen to be 5 red and 3 white. They happen to be 5 red and 3 white. So out of the 8 balls chosen from the urn, it is observed that 5 are red and 3 are white. Find the probability that it comes from urn 1 or urn 3. So we are selecting one urn, we don't know which urn it is. From that 8 balls are taken, out of 8, 5 are red and 3 are white. So whatever the urn is taken, at the first we will be selecting urn, right? So we need to find the probability that whatever the 8 balls in which 5 are red, 3 are white, so these 8 balls are coming from either urn 1 or urn 2. What is the probability that they are coming from urn 1 or what is the probability that they are coming from urn 3? So that means we need to find P of E1 given A and we have to find P of E2 given A. The conditional probability. The 8 balls drawn, here drawing balls is event A, so that comes from the urn 1. So conditional probability E1 given A. So now describe the events. So what are the three disjoint events? Three disjoint events are selecting the urn 1, selecting urn 2 and selecting urn 3. So let E1 is the event of selecting urn 1. So similar problem. Similarly E2, it is an event of selecting urn 2. Similarly E3, it is an event of selecting urn 3. So now we have to describe the event A. So what is event A? We are drawing 8 balls. So A is an event of drawing drawing 5 red and 3 white balls. So A given E1 from urn 1. So what does it mean? After selecting, this is the probability of drawing 5 red and 3 white balls from the urn 1. So how to find this one? Favorable number of outcomes by total number of outcomes. So P of A given E1. So consider only urn 1 values. So E1 indicates only urn 1. So we have to draw 8 balls. So remember, from that 8, 5 are red, 3 are. So see only the urn 1. How many red balls are there? 46 red balls are there. From those 46, how many red balls should I pick? 5. So 46 C5 into white balls are also included. So how many white balls are there? 28. So out of 28, we have to get 3 white balls. So 28 C3 divided by total how many balls are there in the urn 1 count? 46 plus 28 plus 26. So 46 plus 28 plus 26 it is 60, 72, 80, 90. So total 100 balls are there. So out of those 100 balls we are selecting 8 balls. So 100 C 8. So calculate this value by using your calculator. You can do it simply. So coming to calculation, first 46 C5. You can use your calculators. 46. Since there are lengthy numerical values, and to consider in calculators. Here you have NCR values. If you observe at the divided by symbol, so it is on the divided by symbol. So you will consider shift divided. Here you will be getting C value. So that indicates 46 C5. So 46 C5 into 28 C3, 28, again shift, divided symbol, 28 C3. So this, whatever the answer we got, that answer divided by, open the brackets, 100 C8. So 100 C8 is equals to 0.0241. So this is the probability of A given E1. So P of A given E1 is equals to 0.2451. Similarly, find out P of A given E2, which is equals to, so red balls are 28. So out of 28 we are choosing 5. So 28 C5 into black balls are, white balls are 46. So out of 46 we are choosing 3 white balls divided by the total 28 plus 46 plus 15. So here total 89 balls are there. So out of 89 we are choosing 8 balls. So 89 C8. So find out this value, 28 C5 into 46 C3. So try to do along with me. Divided by 89 C8. So which 162. So out of 162, we are selecting 8. So calculate the value. 42C5 into 56C3 divided by 162C8. So the answer is 0.0024. So P of A given E3 value is equals to 0.0024. So we got all the required values. Next what we have to do? Find out P of A value. So that is summation. So either it may be from the earn 1 or earn 2. The denominator value is same. The numerator will be changing but the denominator value will be same. So find out the denominator value here. So we are representing our denominator value with P of A. So P of A is equals to summation I equals to 1 to total 3 values are there into P of EI into P of A given EI. So that is equals to P of E1 into P of A given E1 plus now I equals to 2. So P of E2 into P of A given E2 plus P of E3 into P of A given E3. So now substitute all the values. P of E1 is 1 by 3 into P of A given E1 is 0.0241 plus P of E2 is also 1 by 3 into P of A given E2 is 0.0211 plus P of E3 is 1 by 3 into P of A given E3 is 0.0024. Now find out this value. First 0.0241 divided by 3 plus next is 0.0211 divided by 3. So again take 1 by 3 common and also add all those plus 0.0024 divided by 3. So the answer is 0.0159. So P of A is equals to 0.0159. Now find out whether that by using Bayes theorem. By Bayes theorem. So what is given in the question? So after selecting 5 white balls and 5 red balls and 3 white balls, if those 8 balls are coming from earn 1 or earn 3. So if they are coming from earn 1, the probability that they are coming from earn 1 is given as P of E1 given A, which is equals to P of E1 into P of A given E1 divided by the P of A value, that is summation I equals to 1 to n P of EI into P of A given EI. Substitute the values. P of E1 is 1 by 3 into P of A given E1 is 0.0241 divided by P of A value we got it as 0.0159. So substitute the values. Solve it. 0.0241 divided by 3. So the total answer divided by 0.0159. You will be getting the answer as 0.5052. So this is P of E1 given 8, which is equals to 0.5052. So similarly now find out P of by 118. P of E3 given A value is 30 by 118. So now we will continue with the next problems. Now coming to the next question. The probability that a student passes stats exam is 2 by 3. So a student passes stats exam is given the probability 2 by 3, and the probability that student passes both stats and maths. So two exam details, maths and stats. He passes the stats, the probability is 2 by 3. Both stats and maths, it is 14 by 15. Next, the probability that he passes at least one exam. At least one means either he may pass maths or stats. So at least one exam is given as 4 by 5. So we have to find what is the probability that he passes the maths exam. So we need to find the probability that he passes the maths exam. So write down the given details. So before writing the given events, let us describe them as two events. So event A is, let us passing stats exam. Event B is passing of maths exam. So what are given? So first the probability that he passes stats exam. Stats exam we are denoting with A. So P of A is given as 2 by 3. Next, what is given? Probability that student passes both A and B. So A and B. So always and condition represent intersections. So P of A intersection B is equals to how much? 14 by 15. Similarly, next it is given the probability that he passes at least one. So here at least one means it may be A or B. So A or B means P of A union B value is equals to how much? 4 by 5. So what we need to find? The probability that he passes the maths exam. That is P of B equals to how much? We need to find this. So by seeing the given information, what can you observe? By addition theorem, we know a condition, right? By addition theorem, what is the condition according to the addition theorem? P of A union B is equals to P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. So substitute the values. P of A union B is given as 4 by 5 equals to P of A value is given 2 by 3 plus P of B we need to find minus P of A intersection B is 14 by 15. So we want only P of B values. P of B equals to 4 by 5 minus 2 by 3 minus 14 by 15. So take the LCM. So here LCM we may take it as 15. So if you take the LCM as 15, so 4 into 3 minus 2 into 5 minus 14. This is equals to LCM is 15. So 4 3s are 12 minus 2 5s are 10 minus 14 as it is. Sorry, this minus comes to here, it is plus 14, right? Sorry, minus 14 by 15 comes to that side, it is plus 14 by 15. So 12 minus 10 is 2. 2 plus 14 is 16. So therefore, P of B is equals to 16 by 15. So the probability that a student passes maths exam is given as 16 by 15. So whenever if any value is missing, by writing all the given values, observe the question. How to find that missing one? So since we know by addition theorem, we can find this. So like that you need to observe the question carefully. Now we will continue with our next problem. Next question given. A problem is given to 3 students A, B, C. So 3 students are A, B, C. a problem is given to 3 of them whose chances of solving the problems are also given. So here chances means the probabilities are 1 by 2, 3 by 4 and 1 by 4 respectively. So what is the probability that the problem will be solved if all of them try independently? Here what is we need to find? Probability that problem will be solved. They have mentioned only problem will be solved. Problem will be solved means it can be solved either by the student A or student B or student C. So we need to find union of 3 events, P of A union B union C, by using addition theorem of 3 events. Now coming to solution. So here what are the 3 events? A, B, C. So event A represents that student A solves the problem. Event B represents student B solves the problem. Event C represents student C solves the problem. Then the probabilities are given, right? So write down P of A. That means student A solves the problem. The probability is 1 by 2 given. Next, P of B equals to 3 by 4 and P of C is equals to 1 by 4. And they have mentioned that we need to find the probability that the problem will be solved if all of them try independently. So here independent condition we are going to use. So if at least one student. So they have mentioned only problem will be solved, but it doesn't matter whether it is solved by student A or student B or student C. So we need to find the probability of at least one student. So in the question if they mention at least one student or any one student or the problem is solved either by A, B, C, it is C. So probability that at least one student solve the problems means this is equals to probability of A union B union C. At least one student solves the problem means we need to find the value of P of A union B union C. So what does this P of A union B union C indicates? That is problem is solved either by A, B or C students. So consider this P of A union B union C. So according to addition theorem of 3 events, P of A union B union C is given as P of A plus P of B plus P of C minus P of A intersection B minus P of A intersection C minus P of B intersection C plus P of A intersection B intersection C. So what is the condition specified here? All of them try independently. So what is the independent condition? Intersection of 2 events is nothing but the product of the 2 separate probabilities. So write that one. P of A union B union C is equals to, so first P of A plus P of B plus P of C minus P of A intersection B can be written as P of A into P of B minus P of A intersection C can be written as P of A into P of C minus P of B intersection C can be written as P of B into P of C plus P of A intersection B intersection C. Triplets is even this can be written as P of A into P of B into P of C. Now substitute the given values, which is equals to P of A value is 1 by 2 plus P of B is 3 by 4 plus P of C is 1 by 4 minus P of A into P of B. So 1 by 2 into 3 by 4 minus A into C. So 1 by 2 into 1 by 4 minus 3 by 4 into 1 by 4 plus 3 by 4 plus 1 by 4 minus 3 by 8 minus 1 by 8 minus 3 by 16 plus 3 by 16 twos are 32. So what is the LCM here? You can consider the LCM and solve it. So LCM is 32. So after taking the LCM, P of A union B union C is equals to, what is the LCM? So here the LCM is 32, right? So LCM is 32. Now 32 divided by 2 is 16 into 1, 16. Next plus 32 divided by 4, it is 8. 8 3s are 24. Next plus 32 divided by 4, it is 8 minus 32 divided by 8 is 4. 4 3s are 12 minus 32 divided by 8 is 4. So minus 4 minus 32 divided by 16 is 2. 2 3s are 6 plus here 32 only we have in the denominator, so plus 3. So add all the values. 16 plus 24 plus 8 minus 12 minus 4 minus 6 plus 3. So you will be getting 29. So 29 divided by 32. So P of A union B union C is equals to 29 divided by 32. So this is the one way of solving the problem. So we have another simple way of solving this problem. So instead of this long calculations, we have one more method. So second method is, you need to find the probability that at least one solves the problem. So at least one solves the problem means what will be the complement of it? That no one solves the problem. So this can be written as, so always the complement even can be given as 1 minus the probability that no one solves the problem. That is, A will not solve the problem. So that will be given as A complement intersection. B will not solve the problem. So that is equals to B complement intersection. C will not solve the problem. That is equals to C complement. And from the question it is given that all the students solve the problems independently. So intersection will be obviously it is nothing but the product of the different terms. So even it is if A and B and C are independent, obviously A complement, B complement and C complement are also independent. So this is equals to 1 minus the probability of A complement into probability of B complement into probability of C complement. So this can be written as 1 minus probability of A complement means 1 minus P of A into 1 minus P of B into 1 minus P of C. So this is another way. So 1 minus P of A. What is P of A value? So P of A value is 1 by 2. 1 minus 1 by 2 into 1 minus 3 by 4 into 1 minus 1 by 4. So this is equals to 1 minus 1 by 2 is 1 by 2 into 1 minus 3 by 4 is 1 by 4 into 1 minus 1 by 4 is 3 by 4. can use any one method. So how you get this one, this value? It is nothing but at least one solves problem. This can be written as 1 minus P of, this is generally P of A union B. So this one symbolically this can be written as P of A union B union C, which is equals to 1 minus P of A union B union C complement. So according to the De Morgan's law, A union B whole complement can be given as 1 minus P of A complement intersection B complement intersection C complement. So here I said directly that at least one solves means complementary means no one solves, that is 1 doesn't solve and 2 doesn't solve and 3 doesn't solve. So you can